gone everywhere, and I aspire to travel the world just like her someday. I have been traveling since I was 18 months old. That was my first exposure to the world of tourism. I know I don't remember much. I only remember core memories, so you're bound to actually remember those because you have a quarter of your consciousness by then. So, yeah, but I actually remember a lot of the travel experiences that my parents have told me before. And just like my grandma, she met people through travel. She met cultures. She exchanged stories and actually experienced untold adventures. You may be a tourist enthusiast just like me, or maybe not. Some would beg to differ, but we are all still a part of one of the largest global industries in the world, tourism. So what if I told you that you can actually change the world by only taking a vacation? Good morning, fellow educators, advisors, fellow parents, and my dearest friends. My name is Keisha, Nataline, Mintardjo, and in this opportunity, I would like to take you on a tour of the mind to explore the vast prospect of modern tourism in Surabaya. Alright, I would like you to think with me for a second. You know that Surabaya is the second largest city in Indonesia, correct? And tourism is also one of the major prospects of Indonesia's economy, contributing 2% of its GDP. Though compared to other major cities in Indonesia, such as, let's say, Bali or Jakarta, should Surabaya, as a second largest city, have more tourists visiting the city rather than smaller cities like Bali or Jakarta? Though I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, oh yeah, because those other cities are more focused on its tourism. They're built for it. Well, Surabaya is built for business and trading. I get it, it's not wrong. But if you've done more research, you'll see that Surabaya actually won numerous tourism awards. And so what I'm trying to find out here is to what extent does the lack of tourism infrastructure affect the number of tourists visiting Surabaya? In order to collect this answer to this inquiry both qualitatively and quantitatively, I've conducted a recent questionnaire in Google Forms, collecting as much as 63 respondents, as well as 3 interviews to 3 different aspects, one of them being a government official of the Dinas Pariwisata. Here's what I found. Tourism is too complex to be explained in a single motivation. Your reasons to travel might be different from my reasons to travel. And in 1997, a famous theorist named Dan, he suggested this vast prospect of factors that leads tourists to a certain destination. It's simplified into 2 terms, push and pull. In simpler terms, pull factors is the extrinsic factor. It's the infrastructure, it's the physical attributes of the destination. So let's say accommodation, transportation, and even a country's political stability. The push factor, on the other hand, talks about the desires of the individual. It's the intrinsic factor of oneself. So it talks about if an individual wants to find tranquility, they'll find to fulfill this desire by going to a place that provides, let's say, spas, or they provide relaxation of such. The data I'm showing you here basically says that the pull factor is basically very, very important in the decision making of tourists. However, when I evaluate Surabaya's tourism infrastructure as a whole, I found out that the majority of the demographic agrees to Surabaya having a lack of tourism infrastructure, mainly public restrooms and unique landmarks. Following this, I've also found out Bruner's tourism area life cycle, or TALC theory in short. He puts Surabaya in like this stagnant position. So this stagnant position means that the city's appeal and city's publicity basically is less appealing. And this is a very dangerous position. Why? Because stagnant position goes to either 2 ways, rejuvenation and declination. So in rejuvenation, it means that the tourism is boosted up again, but in declination, it means that the city that this is because of the effects of the global pandemic. I mean, I agree. It is because of the global pandemic. Because the pandemic has changed the way people spend their money. It has changed people's mindset, and it affects the consumer behaviorism that tourism spots benefit from, right? And they could actually also deem a destination not worth the visit if they don't have the pull factor. They will find other places to visit to spend their money on. Though I have good news. Let's not forget that Surabaya is a city of heroes. This is the only thing that can attract tourists into Surabaya. This is the city's number one attraction, which is its own history. Now, let's be honest. Who here looks out for online reviews before actually visiting a place? Any show of hands? Yeah, so see how the world is actually changing? Technology here in this day and time is not only a convenience. In this present generation, technology is a lifeline. So if globalization is incorporated with a good marketing strategy, this will give rise to consumer behavior, and this will bring back the thirst for tourism. So in conclusion, although I believe that the government have actually done good efforts in rejuvenating the city's infrastructure, I don't believe that the government have done good enough efforts in promoting this renovation. They don't actually give updates to newer renovations or rejuvenations, which is why there aren't many tourists laying around the city, because simply we did not know. So what can we do about it? So first we're going to build the interest. How to do that is to build unique landmarks that still incorporates globalization with the heritage of Surabaya. Then we can actually use the prestigious awards that Surabaya has gotten before and use it to promote tourism in general. Now, for our part, how can we make a change to Surabaya by only taking a vacation? Simple. Promote local tourism and showcasing the beauty of our home. It all goes back to supporting your home. Basically supporting local tourism, how good or bad it may be, so that when the government sees the possible interest in one area, they will focus on tourism in Surabaya in general as a whole. So go ahead and take a vacation to this imperfect place we call home, Surabaya. Thank you for your undivided attention. God bless you.